living. All right, guys. When Netflix didn't tell you about the Night Stalker.
A drifter from El Paso, Texas, and a self-described Satan worshiper.
Whee! Okay, guys. What I know about this guy, I know very little. I just know he's a Night Stalker. He likes killing. And there was this old guy on the Kill Tony show who knew this guy. Remember? I don't know if y'all see that clip of that old guy who knew Kill Tony.
Reign of Terror in June 1984.
Mexican-American.
At the time of his arrest 14 months later, Ramirez had gone on a killing rampage so grisly that Deputy District Attorney Phil Halpin said Ramirez had probably rewritten the book on serial murders.
Traveled by train bags.
With pins marking locations of murders, 13 of them.
Look, guys. Look, guys. Let me show y'all, gang. Let me show y'all, gang.
A map with...
Look at the LA. I live right here. Look, I live right here. Right here, gangy. This is my area of living. Damn, I thought he was in San Fran, bro. I didn't know he was in LA County. I thought he was in San Fran. Oh shit.
Pins marking locations of murders, 13 of them, and assaults, vicious attacks, showed that Ramirez moved quickly, killing and leaving, heading to another area to kill again.
Night is meant to be a time of rest and peace.
Is it though?
But on occasion, something entirely different happens.
Okay.
Sometimes peaceful sleep is anything but peaceful.
Facts. That's true, guys.
Some nights you're not as alone as you may hope to be.
I'm gonna pause a lot because I'm a weirdo. Do you guys ever get that feeling of getting scared? Like when you're alone at night? Like I'm not scared to be alone. But sometimes, bro. Sometimes, bro, it's genuinely nerve-wracking knowing that you're alone at night. You know what I mean? 100%. What do y'all think, Gengi? What do y'all think? 600, I know they give 600 seconds for putting crosses. It's crazy. Talking for me. It was gonna react. Guys, I pause a lot, so we'll see.
Someone could be lurking in the shadows.
That's disgustingly scary, bro.
As much as this sounds like the beginning of a typical scary story, made up to spook you, it is actually the beginning of something much more horrific. And 100% true.
Right.
This is the truth behind the serial killer who infamously haunted the streets of the greater Los Angeles area in the early 1980s. This
Sit back and
is
relax,
the
guys.
nightmarish tale of the Night Stalker.
The Night Stalker.
What is up?
Another true fact, guys. My dad actually knows this story pretty well too for some reason. Fun fact.
Crew. The story we have for you today is one you are probably familiar with.
I got you, Angola content to go. I got you for sure. I keep forgetting, bro, because I'm not on TikTok like that.
Ramirez will convince you to double-check the lock on your own doors before going to sleep, because, as you'll soon realize, the most terrifying monsters in this world are the ones who walk among us.
Oof! Can I tell you something? This commentator's cooking, bro. And you know what? I had a conversation with my homeboy yesterday, and this is just a comment out of nowhere. How many fucking sickos do you think you walk past by every day? Genuine question, Kat. How many sickos do you pass by every day? Genuinely, bro. Genuinely, gang. I've thought about that. Zero, you think? I don't know. But you're youngin, but we'll see.
Now, let's get into it. Ricardo Leyva Munoz Ramirez was born on February 29th, 1960, in El Paso, Texas.
Yeesh.
Ricardo, who was most often
murder went past outdoor. Really? Yeah, 100%. Okay. As long as I don't walk past them, well, the answer is zero.
throughout his life, was the youngest of his 5 siblings. Richard's parents, Julian and Mercedes Ramirez, had initially moved from Juarez, Mexico to El Paso when Julian had the opportunity to work on the Santa Fe Railroad.
Guess what?
Julian, who had been a Mexican national and former policeman from Juarez, was known to be quick to anger and often took his frustrations out on whoever was nearby. Unfortunately,
in a place I used to live, there was a murder. Wow, really?
For Richard,
that's actually, how do y'all saw that? What's up, Papa? What's up, Chief? How you doing, Chief? Always thank you, Annie, for locking the light, Papa. I appreciate it, guys.
Julian's
sit back and relax.
Personal punching bag. Physical abuse has a wide range.
Wait, guys.
Unfortunately,
what he said.
For Richard, he was all too often Julian's personal punching bag. Physical abuse has a wide range of negative effects on people, especially children.
Guys, we're watching. It's True Crime Wednesday from me. I'm changing it up on Wednesdays, guys. Crow Close is fun, but there's a different side of me that I want y'all to see, bro. This is one of them. I just like this shit, bro. I like learning about it. I like psychoanalyzing people, because you hear what he said, gang? You hear what he said? he said that he got abused by this guy named Julian. Not everybody's born crazy. I agree. I agree that no one is born crazy. No one is born crazy.
When they
no one.
experience abuse from a young age.
Look what happens to that poor guy.
For Richard, violence was a part of his everyday life. And this was only exacerbated when Richard's older cousin, Miguel Mike Ramirez, decided to take him under his wing. As a decorated United States Army Green Beret, Mike was no stranger to violence and would come to shape Richard into the monster he inevitably became. After returning home from various combat zones, Mike would provide Richard with detailed retellings of his gory and gruesome pursuits during the Vietnam War.
Sit back and relax, everybody.
Mike glorified every aspect of his abuse of Vietnamese women and would even show Richard Polaroid photos of his victims, who were often bound and gagged while Mike posed with their bodies. In addition to Mike's willingness to expose young Richard to stories of his own violent endeavors,
bro? So this
he also taught him some of the various skills he had picked up in the military, horrifically including stealthy ways to commit murder. Was one of
Why would you tell someone that? He was in the most worst possible ways ever, guys. And look what's happening. I told y'all, bro. It's not. You're telling me he saw this crazy guy Julian get beat up, and then he thought then he went to someone else who he trusted, right? Oh yeah, he's my friend. He's a whatever brother, and he's being weird towards me, bro. This guy never had a chance, bro.
Richard's closest friends.
I don't want to give excuses, but this guy never had a chance, bro.
In early adolescence,
guy never had a chance.
So when Mike wasn't around,
never
Richard
had a
was
chance.
left
This guy
feeling rather alone.
100%.
This sense of lonesomeness, combined with his
father's
never okay constant
in the head,
maltreatment, led Richard to frequently sneak out of the house. In the middle of the night, Richard would slip out just to go sleep in his town's local cemetery.
Okay.
There he found a little bit of peace in one of the strangest locations.
Okay.
Whoa. Though any sort of peace was not easily found for Richard. By the time he was 13 years old, he witnessed death firsthand.
Oh my lord.
More so than that, he witnessed his cousin, his role model, murder his own wife.
What the hell? I didn't know that, bro. See, that's what I'm saying, gang. Right, but that's true, Casper. If you had someone to look up to and they tell you something, you'd probably believe it and do it. Facts. Facts, Casper. Facts. You're not wrong.
May 4th, 1973, Richard...
Damn, Netflix did all this juice shit, bro. Bro, Netflix is dropping the bag because this is crazy, bro. I have never seen this, by the way. This is all new to me. This guy right here, I fuck with this guy. Explore with this. I fuck with this guy. Bro, I agreed, Casper. I think that's the thing, guys. Once you have a mentor, he trusted this guy, and look what happened.
Watched intently as Mike used a .38 caliber revolver to settle a domestic argument with his wife, Jessie, by shooting her in the face. Instead of interfering or trying to assist Jessie after she had been shot, Richard simply sat back and took in the scene before him. After Jesse's murder and Mike's subsequent arrest,
what do you want to do, guys?
Richard withdrew from his family and his peers at school.
What's up, Papa? What's up, my boy, compa? What's up, compa? What's up? How you doing, Papa? How you doing, Papa? We're just chilling right now, watching some true crime, my boy. How you doing, compa? How you doing, compa?
Already known to be quiet, he became even more closed off than he had been prior to the incident. As Mike was sent to prison for his crimes, Richard was once again alone. His older sister, Ruth, noticed Richard's strange behavior and was well aware of the harm he had constantly faced within the walls of their parents' home.
Exactly.
So, she offered Richard the chance to come live with her and her husband, Roberto, for as long as he needed. Richard accepted the offer graciously, hoping that it would serve as an escape from his father's anger. Though moving in with Ruth seemed like a good idea at the time, it would ultimately shape Richard, and not in a good way.
Oh yeah, no shit, bro.
What Ruth had not known about her husband was that he was a notorious peeping Tom.
Oh my God.
In the middle of the night, Roberto would leave the house to go on creepy excursions around the neighborhood. He would peer through the windows of women and young girls alike for the thrill of it all. Once Richard moved in with them, Roberto started taking Richard on his nocturnal endeavors, and even taught Richard the tricks of not getting caught.
And now he looks up to a stalker. Isn't that crazy? Everybody he's been around has been a complete weirdo. He cannot catch a fucking break, this kid. I mean, like I said, I don't want to give him excuses for being a crazy person, bro. 100%. No excuses. But damn, bro. Not one fucking time we could just be like, I'm good. Leave me alone. Bro, he's been through the ringer. Oh my God.
Instead of serving as the good influence Richard so desperately needed, Roberto ultimately led Richard down another dark path. While living with his sister, Richard began experimenting with drugs and started to rely on smoking marijuana and taking LSD.
Oh, LSD's gonna
with his newfound love for hallucinogenics and all things wicked, Richard even took up Satanism.
And that right there, fellas, and that right there, you know what's funny, guys? You know what's funny, guys? And the world will blame Satanism. The world will blame everything bad, besides the fact that he had bad role models. Isn't that crazy?
Increased significantly when his favorite cousin Mike was eventually released from prison in 1977. Despite the fact that he murdered his wife in cold blood just years before, Mike was eventually found not guilty of...
He was found what? Not guilty? How? How was he not found? What?
Jesse's murder by reason of insanity.
Now let me tell you something, bruh. Let me tell you something, bro. Now let me tell you something, gang. This is me to y'all, bro. That is not a good way, bro. Oh, he's insane, so he killed some... No, bro. No, 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 bro. I hate that, bro. I hate that. I hate that one, bro. I hate that, bro. I hate that. Oh, he was crazy, so he killed his wife. Shut up, bro. Get out of here. So yeah, he was pretty much guilty. He was guilty, guys, but now guilty because he was a little cuckoo in the cabeza. Shut up.
As a result of his release, he once again...
I hate this fucking judicial system sometimes, bro.
In Richard's life. His release, he once again became the strongest male figure.
Once released, by the way. I fucking hate this fucking government, bro.
With the combined influence of Mike and Roberto, Richard started to realize what he wanted out of life.
That's bullshit. I'm sorry. I'm mad. I'm mad, gang. I'm mad.
Big dreams of success.
Poor kid,
Richard
bro.
Richard wanted nothing more than to be a real-life supervillain.
Well, now he did. But see, look.
And to be the one.
This is the part Netflix shows you guys. This part right here. He wanted to be a crazy guy. No, bro. He was fucked from the beginning.
Always came out on top.
It's crazy.
The thing about Richard Ramirez was that no one could convince him to do anything he did not want to do. Moreover, if he wanted something, he would take it for himself. So Richard tested his luck with small, petty crimes. He stole from stores and spied on women in his neighborhood at night in the same way Roberto had taught him.
Let me get this straight, guys. 1-0, let's go. Leverkusen scored, yeah. Oh, Leverkusen scored on Man United. I mean, Arsenal. That's great. I agree. He is fucked in the head, guys. Don't get it wrong. He is crazy. Don't get it wrong, guys. He is crazy, right? But what I don't like is when they leave stuff out. I hate that, bro. This is why I love this type of stuff, because I learned something new. You know what I'm saying? And I hope you guys listen too, fellas. Lock in.
These petty crimes
but he is crazy. He's a dickhead. I hope he never sees light again.
Or preparation on Richard's behalf, and so he was eventually caught and arrested. As Richard was just a teenager at the time of his first arrest in 1977, he was sent to a juvenile detention center and eventually released at the end of his sentence.
Wish.
It wasn't long after leaving juvie that Richard found himself arrested once more. This time for marijuana possession in 1982.
That's not real. That's not
he was initially placed on probation before eventually
not a real arrest, everybody.
And independent once more. Before eventually dropping out of high school, Richard took up a part-time job at his town's local Holiday Inn.
Right.
There, he was instructed...
So that Holiday Inn, everybody, does not do background checks.
...to clean rooms and keep things tidy around the hotel.
I think so too, Pastor, me too.
However, the power of a universal pass key eventually burned a hole in Richard's pocket.
Okay.
So Richard began letting himself into the rooms of guests staying at the Holiday Inn. He would snoop around and even take things that he found interesting or valuable in the moment.
That's disgusting, bro.
Soon Richard became even more daring. He started spying on guests, especially those who were staying in the hotel with their spouses. In one instance, Richard waited until one guest in particular left his wife alone in the room while heading out to grab something for the evening. Then, Knowing
That's
the man's
crazy,
wife
bro.
would be all alone on the other side of the door, Richard used his passkey to let himself in. When the man eventually returned, he found Richard over his wife, attempting to assault her.
What the fuck?
The man grabbed Richard and ended up beating him senseless before police eventually arrived on the scene.
Nah, fuck that fool. He's a dickhead. Hope he
Despite
dies.
the gravity of the situation, the couple who were attacked ended up dropping criminal charges because they did not want to return to Texas from their home state to testify against him.
Are you kidding me?
I'm grateful for many things.
What?
Space therapy is one of them.
What did they just
because
say?
Adam and I have been through a lot.
What did they just say?
Moves, I wouldn't change.
It appeared that Richard got away while heading out to grab some earned. He found Richard and ended up beating. Despite the gravity of the situation, the couple who were attacked ended up dropping.
Why would you do that?
Because they did not want to.
Oh, because they didn't want to return to Texas? So they could have locked up this criminal, bro, and we could have never seen this dickhead ever again, bro, because they didn't want to. Bro, that's Abdi. Let me tell you this. They could have obviously this is not the real people. Those I know, and you know what? The girl got assaulted. I'm sorry, that sucks. But the fact that they didn't want to testify, but all because they didn't want to come back to Texas, they could have put him away, guys, and everything would have ended. No. I'm sorry. No, Bio. He's getting at least 10 years in prison. At least 10 years in prison, Bio. He's out of here. He's gone. No one wants to be around him no more. Shit, what if he was half bluff and they were scared? No, Papa. Rapa, the Night Stalker wasn't hella buff, my boy. I promise you he wasn't, Luva. I promise you he wasn't. Bro, literally, bro. Cry me a fucking river, gang. Cry me bro, that couple could have saved so many lives. The same way that guy saved his wife, he could have saved so many lives, brother. That's bullshit, gang. Damn, this is... I never knew this, bro. I never knew this.
Returned to Texas from their home state to testify against him.
Guys, thank you for 1,000 likes, bro. Can I get 2K?
Richard got away with his attempted crime, and all the experience did was give him a taste of what was possible, and he wanted far, far more than that. By the time Richard entered the 9th grade, he decided to drop out of Jefferson High School in
9th grade? What's up, Mikey? 9th grade, perros? The 9th, yes sir, Mike. Hey guys, True Crime Wednesday, Papa. True Crime Wednesdays, Papa. How much? Every Wednesday, bro, we're gonna do true crime, bro. 9th, that's what I'm saying, 9th grade? So when did he do that then, bro? When the fuck did he do that weird shit? He did that when, the 8th grade? No, that can't be possible. They could have put him away since the 8th grade, guys. Demo, this shit fire, just switching now. Of course, Papa, of course. Thank you, Mike. Everybody's telling me, bro, that it's fire, that I'm switching it up. Thank you. I really appreciate it, Gengi. I get worried that when I do different things, that I lose the audience, you know what I mean? So thank you, I appreciate it, Gengi. Thank you for coming through. I'm gonna post this on YouTube, by the way, too. It'll be on YouTube, by the way. Thank you, Mike. So now he thinks he's gonna do normal cut. Okay. Yes. Like the word Bumpy, some people do. So now he thinks he's gonna do this in normal. Yes. So he thinks that's normal. He's gonna do it again. Exactly, bro. Exactly. Thank you guys for almost 2K likes, bro. I appreciate it.
El Paso and move away from his family. He did not want to be around his father, who tormented him, nor did he want to continue living with his sister, despite the bond he formed with her husband.
Right.
At this point, Mike was in and out of Richard's life as well. When Richard was around 22 years old, he ended up moving to California. California would not only become his new permanent place of residence, it would also become Richard's twisted criminal playground.
I don't like hearing that, bro.
1980s.
I don't like hearing that, bro.
Once in California, Richard was arrested for cocaine possession and even a car theft charge. And the combination of these two crimes led to a short-lived jail sentence.
That's crazy.
But Richard's worst crimes were just starting.
That's okay.
In April of 1984, while
hey, lock in, guys. Lock in, perros. Lock in.
Hotels, including one in the Tenderloin
district.
He was
born in El Paso, and he moved to California.
Richard had managed to find access to the hotel's basement, which was seldom entered by any of the staff. It was there in the dark, damp basement.
I'm down.
Richard brutally attacked, beat, and stabbed 9-year-old Mei Lung to death.
9-year-old? Fuck off, bro. That gave me goosebumps, games. Fuck off, bro. I hadn't. Ugh.
Before hanging her lifeless body from a pipe.
Are you kidding me?
Despite the severity of the murder, no one initially even suspected Richard, as he had abandoned the hotel long before the young girl's body was located by officials. In fact, Richard would not be found guilty of Mei Lung's murder until 2009.
Oh my god, bro. Every time I watch these videos, bro, I want to suck the screen, gang. I want to suck the screen. What did they just say? What did they just say? Oh my god, bro. Whatever. Let's let's continue, fellas. This stuff, bro, I love this stuff, but America, bro. America. That's all I gotta say sometimes, bro. That's crazy. Good job, LA police. Good job, bro. Good job. 2009.
So Richard.
So you're telling me he did that in 1984, 1980 something, and it took him until I was 9 years old to say, oh yeah, it was him. Yeah, congrats, bro. Congrats, dog. Congrats.
With yet another crime.
Stupid police.
This time, an actual murder.
Fucking ridiculous. What do you mean an actual murder?
Escaping the suspicion of police and investigators gave Richard a sense of gruesome pride. In fact, his first successful murder lit a fire under Richard, and ultimately made him insatiably hungry for more.
It's disgusting.
In perhaps one of the most infamous murder sprees in California's history, Richard Ramirez set out on a series of...
You guys see what's happening, guys? Damn, bro's old. Chill! Chill. Thank you for 2K likes. Bro, so think about this, guys. Bro, I don't know what's happening. So telling me this, guys, he got away with the first one. The second one, he got away with seeing his family kill each other. He thinks all this is normal. He thinks because he does the Satanist stuff that he's like unbeatable, that he's unreachable. That's why he's doing this, by the way. Yes, he gets away with it, and he goes, "Oh yeah, I'm untouchable because I do this so and so stuff." That's crazy. That is crazy.
Half-heartedly planned attacks
on
random households over the course of April 1984 to August of 1985.
Ridiculous, bro.
Over the span of a little over a year, Richard transformed himself into a real-life, bloodthirsty monster, becoming the Night Stalker. On June 28, 1984, the Night Stalker took the life of his second victim. This time,
Madrid's gonna beat Man City, I think.
Chose to attack and brutally murder Jenny Vincow. Vincow was a 79-year-old woman who lived in a small apartment in Glassell Park, Los Angeles. Richard had stabbed the old woman to death after having forced himself on her. Before fleeing, Richard even nearly decapitated her without leaving any evidence behind to identify him at the scene.
That's ridiculous, bro.
That is, except for a smudged fingerprint on the mesh screen window that had been supposedly removed for him to access the apartment. Despite the fingerprint, investigators did not even know Richard Ramirez's name at the time of Jenny Vincow's murder.
Of course they didn't.
However, it would not be long before the Night Stalker would make his rounds in the greater Los Angeles area.
So you're telling me again, just talk to Vinny, he said he's dropping a hatch. Let me tell you this, guys. So you're telling me he got away with another one. For the third time, he got away with something else. He escaped. He's gonna do it again. Oh, Lord.
And earn his infamous nickname. Determined to kill again on March 27, 1985,
that's ridiculous.
Just a little under a year after his last murder, Richard shot a 22-year-old woman in the face.
What?
Just inside the entrance of her own home in Rosemead, California. The woman, Maria Hernandez, had just pulled her vehicle into the garage upon returning home.
Oh, that's so sad. What's up, Freddie?
When she was met face-to-face with a wide-eyed Richard Ramirez, pointing a .22 caliber handgun directly at her. As he fired, Maria instinctively moved her hands up to her face in an attempt to shield herself from the bullet barreling toward her. By some luck, the keys in Maria's hands actually managed to cause the bullet to ricochet away from her face.
What?
Allowing her to avoid being struck altogether. Realizing that his shot had missed, Richard decided to flee the scene as...
Oh my god. That his nickname's the Night Stalker, guys. Sorry, that's his nickname. Guys, holy hell. Isn't that crazy how he just tried to murder somebody and it just didn't happen. It just didn't happen. W keys, bro, genuinely. Genuinely, W keys, bro, genuinely. That's fucking crazy, guys. That's fucking crazy. Let's keep it going, fellas. W got us. I thought, hey, Mike, you're not wrong.
Fast as possible. In doing so, however, he essentially ran into Maria's 34-year-old housemate, Dale Yoshi Okazaki. At the sound of the gunshot, Dale had rushed toward the garage entrance, wherein she found Richard Ramirez staring her down with a gun.
No.
Dale tried her best to duck behind the kitchen counter to hide. Unfortunately, when Dale raised her head up to get a better look at Richard, he shot her point blank in the forehead, killing her instantly.
Wow, bro.
Not even an hour after escaping from Dale and Maria's Rosemead home, Richard took his next victim.
Wow, bro. Imagine, bro. You're trying to help your friend and...
in need of a proper getaway vehicle.
Fuck, man, that sucks.
Richard successfully managed to steal a car from a 30-year-old woman
in an hour, by the way, in an hour.
The woman, Tsai Lian Veronica Yu, was forcefully pulled out of her own vehicle by Richard, who fired 2 rounds into her face before driving
Just
off.
steal the car, bro.
Veronica was found by passersby who had heard the commotion and the gunshots and called local authorities.
This is all this, guys. All this simultaneously, by the way. Like dominoes, fellas. Simultaneously. Boom, 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 boom.
And the Valley Intruder. Just 10 days.
You know what? I'll be the first one to say it. I'll raise my hand, guys. I'll raise my hand. I don't like when they give them nicknames. Why the fuck should they have nicknames? So what happened to the first girl? The first girl, she survived, Papa. The key deflected her bullet. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I don't like nicknames, bro. Like, yes, exactly. It's cousin Mike, yes. I don't like that, gang. I just... Why can't we just call them by their first and last names? Get them pictures on the wall. Nicknames for these cereal... I don't like it, bro. I never did, never will. Like, I get it now. Like, the whole story, it has to happen. I get it. But like, if I happen to write... If there was a loose murder on the loose now... And if someone said, oh, he's the so-and-so something. I'm like, shut the fuck up. His name is Richard Ramirez, Papa. I'm not giving him some stupid-ass nicknames, bro. I'm not giving him no stupid-ass nicknames. If there's a murder in my neighborhood, I'm not calling it anything by his first and last name, his address, where he's from. I won't say how tall he is, what color eye, his hair. Fuck the name called, bro. That's just my opinion, though. I hate nicknames for serial killers, Papa. Stop doing it. I mean, but like I said, I get it, though. For the historical reference, I get it. But now, if you do it now, you're a dickhead. Dickhead, bro. Dickhead. Sorry, guys. I'm just ranting now. My fault.
Around 2 a.m., Richard let himself into the...
Facts, Fernie. Does nothing but boost their ego. Fuck those. The whole area was scared of him. Anyone would be scared to sleep, but no one to sleep with. The police will sleep with the guns under the pillow. I know.
Of 64-year-old Vincent Charles Zazara, who he killed in his sleep shortly after entering the house.
Oh, fuck.
Vincent's death was quick. The sound of the gunshot awoke his wife, Maxine, who had been sleeping soundly by his side. When it came to Maxine, Richard thought it best to keep her alive, at least for a little while, so that she could help him locate all of the valuable items the couple kept in their home.
That's fucking wicked, bro.
Richard beat Maxine and eventually bound her hands to keep her in place, while he searched in the drawers she had directed him toward. Much to his surprise, Maxine had actually managed to escape her bonds and maneuvered herself over to the bed. There, Maxine reached under the mattress and retrieved a shotgun that had been hidden there since the couple's last break-in.
Okay.
Unfortunately, Maxine realized all too late that the shotgun was not loaded. When Richard turned his attention back to her, he was overwhelmed with anger to see her with a weapon, and he shot her 3 times with his .22
Oh my
handgun.
God, so close.
Though the gunshots killed her almost instantly, Richard was not finished with Maxine. Instead, he headed into the deceased couple's kitchen and retrieved a large carving knife before returning to the bloody bedroom. There, Richard repeatedly stabbed.
So homie just had an unloaded you know what? It had to be unloaded, Lou. It has to be unloaded. Guys, let me be okay. I know it's getting twisted now, but that gun had to be unloaded, fellas. Come on. Unless I'm tripping. Does that gun have to be loaded? I don't think so, guys. I think you keep that gun unloaded at all times. You know what I'm saying? Or is it I don't know, guys. I don't know. It sucks, bro. It sucks. Genuinely.
Stabbed Maxine's lifeless body and even gouged out her eyes.
What?
And placed them in a jewelry box, which he left with. Before fleeing the scene, Richard made sure to leave clear footprints in the couple's flower beds with a pair of Avia sneakers. Richard knew that the footprints would be easily discovered by police, which they were.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I think so too.
Investigators were sure to photograph and
I think so too, Fernie, and Casper
in hopes to have a better understanding of whomever they were looking for. But the footprints were the only clues they could find.
The police in LA during the 1980s can suck my ass, bro. The worst fucking policing I've seen in a story in a minute. Holy hell, they're so shit. So shit, bro.
Police quickly realized that the bullets left behind at the crime scene were exactly the same as those from the Rosemead murders just days beforehand. It was evident to investigators that they were not simply dealing with horrific but random murders. No, they were on the trail of a serial killer.
Oh, you don't say! Oh, you don't say! Oh no, you don't say, sir. What's up, D1? Oh, you don't say. Oh, you don't say. Oh my God. So you're telling me 1, 2, 3 murders? Back to back to back? Back to back? In the same area? Within 5 miles? And it's not a serial killer? Bro, these people are the worst police motherfuckers I've seen in my life, bro. Jesus. Damn, they finally pieced it together, bro, huh? What we doing, chat? Right, guys, we're back to some scary stuff today, D1. I'm not scary stuff, some true crime stuff, bro. Holy hell. I'm here. What's up, user? Bro, they finally did it, Lou. They finally pieced it together, gang. Okay, finally, huh? Godly, bro.
For the next few months, Richard
gets me hot, gang. Gets me hot. Genuinely.
With the same energy that he had started with. Only now.
What's up, user? What's up, user? Lock in, user.
Ability to pull off.
Hey, user. I know you're Papa. You're new. You're new today, Papa. True Crime Wednesdays. Lock in. Watch with your boy. Every Wednesday, bro. We're gonna do True Crime Wednesday. Every Wednesday. Every fucking Wednesday.
Off such brutal murders and get away with them. His various killing styles changed as each victim presented Richard with new means of murdering them. With most of his female victims, Richard would assault them before or during killing them.
Fucking bitch.
Some he beat, others he shocked with electrical cords. Some were strangled, some were bludgeoned. Some he simply shot point blank before mutilating their bodies. But a rare few managed to survive the Night Stalker's attacks. On August 24th, 1985, Richard headed down to Orange County, California, to the town of Mission Viejo. There he parked.
Wait a minute, fellas.
Vehicle.
Hey, okay, guys, I'll be right back, fellas. Look, I'm gonna start to think Richard guy might have been crazy. Hey, this Richard guy. Hey, the police probably thought, hey, this Richard Ramirez guy, huh? We should look into him, bro. Fucking.
To James Romero Jr., who had just returned to California with his then 13-year-old son, James Romero III.
Oh my God, bro! Why does he only target little kids,
had been on a family vacation in Rosarito Beach, Mexico, and had just.
By the way, guys, I did walk in my dad peeing. Yes, I did. I did walk in my dad peeing. He said, "Hey, estoy en el baño."
Bedroom window, indicating that there was definitely someone creeping around. Immediately, young James woke his sleeping parents, thinking there was some kind of bad guy lurking in the shadows.
No, there definitely was.
Realizing that the lights in Romero's home all turned on at the same time, Richard thought it best to abandon his planned attack if it could not be a stealth one. Before he could get away, however, James III managed to note the color, make, and model of the car Richard had been driving.
Good shit.
More so than that, he had even managed to memorize at least part of the license plate number.
So let me tell you this. This kid right here, did more than the LA police done in the past 2 weeks. This kid did more than the whole LA police, from what I've known from this damn video. This kid, memorizing all that, did more than the damn fucking police. Shout out little Chicano kids, papa. Shout out Chicano kids, bro. First smart person to act. I know. Bro, you know what? Get him to the fucking force. Get him to the force. Well, it's the LA police. I can imagine how bad they were. Well, back then they were corrupt. Let me not get into it though. They were corrupt. Let me not get into it, bro, because we can get into the riots in LA.
A 13-year-old boy had managed to obtain more information on Richard than any investigator to date.
Fernie, that is true, Fernie. That is true. I'll give him that. I hit 10. Thank you for 10K likes, Papa. Abdi, you're a real one, Papa. Thank you for 10K likes on TikTok, bro. Thank you, Abdi. Thank you. What was this kid though?
James Romero Jr. promptly called police, thinking they had chased away a potential thief. Little did they know that they had come minutes away from being the Night Stalker's next victims. Shortly after his failed attempt at the Romero's home, Richard found himself breaking into the house of Bill Carnes and his soon-to-be wife, Inez Erickson. As per Richard's infamous fashion, he let himself into the house and snuck his way into the couple's bedroom. There he woke 30-year-old Bill Carnes from his sleep by cocking his .25 caliber handgun. As Bill lifted his head in search of the sound's source, Richard shot him 3 times.
Wow, bro, that's crazy.
Then he turned to Inez. Richard looked the frightened woman dead in the eye and told her that he was the Night Stalker. He then forced her into swearing up and down that she loved Satan. All the while, Richard beat her and bound her with her fiancé's neckties from the closet. After assaulting her, Richard managed to steal what valuables and cash he could find. Before leaving Bill to bleed out, Richard locked eyes with Inez once more and decided to leave her alive.
What a weird thing to do.
Instead of executing her, he told her, quote, "Tell them the Night Stalker was here."
See
Once
guys?
Richard fled.
See guys? See what he just did right there? The Night Stalker was here. The Night Stalker, bro. Cause they gave him fucking nicknames, bro. So he thinks he's more important. You see that shit, bro? Y'all see that, gang? Tell him the Night Stalker was here, bro. Oof, bro. Crazy torture, 100%, bro. Dude, the fact that you know what? The fact that they woke him up because he heard the 25 caliber is a gun, Bombi. Yeah, it's the size of a bullet. Even though he knew how dumb the police was, I swear to God, Lou, he knew how slow the police were. He came like, I'm gonna tell these people where I'm at. 100%, Lou, 100%. Your girl ain't gonna be on stream. No, she's not gonna be on stream, gang. She's not gonna be on stream. Chill. How big is that? 25 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This much? The bullet's this big, maybe? This big? Chill, Casper, chill. Like this, the counterfeit is like this big, maybe?
The scene, Inez managed to break away from her bonds and rush over to her neighbor's home to ask for help. Ultimately, Bill managed to survive his injuries after having the 3 bullets surgically removed. As she had been left alive, Inez was able to provide police with the information they so desperately needed.
They definitely need information.
A physical description of the man who had been...
Oh my God. That's kind of scary, huh? Like now, like imagine. Oh, this is kind of creepy, bro. I'm not gonna cap. That's scary, right, guys? That's pretty fucking scary. Holy hell. That's pretty accurate. I don't want to imagine seeing that either. But, and dude, imagine, look at his eyes, bro. His eyes are like just in your face, bro. They're in your face.
Been slaughtering people in the Los Angeles area for months.
For months is crazy.
Police were also once again able to photograph and cast the footprints left in and outside the home. Just 4 days later, the stolen car was located back in Los Angeles, and despite his efforts to wipe the vehicle clean, investigators were able to find a single fingerprint on the car's rear view mirror.
We're good.
The fingerprint was run through the police databases, and found to be a positive.
Bro, meth head to the. Yeah, let me see the bad. But let me see those chompers. Hold up. Oh yeah, look. Oh yeah.
Later, the stolen car was located.
This is gonna be my nightmares.
And despite his efforts to wipe the vehicle clean, investigators were able to find a single fingerprint on the car's rear view mirror.
I love the actual. I love how he integrates the footage and him talking. I really like this guy's channel, bro. I fuck with it.
A positive match for Richard Ramirez.
I fuck with that. I fuck with that a lot.
The next day, Richard's name and face were released to the public. The whole state of California and beyond knew the Night Stalker's true identity.
Good.
On August 30th, 1985, Richard had decided to visit his brother who lived in Tucson, Arizona. Unbeknownst to him, his face was plastered on every newspaper and every television station in the state of California.
Good.
Unfortunately for Richard, there was an issue with meeting up with his brother, and so he backtracked his travels to return to Los Angeles. Richard ended up back in LA early on the morning of August 31st, and though he didn't know it, investigators had been tracking his every move. Police believed that the Night Stalker would attempt to flee on an outbound bus,
right?
So they lined up all over the block in the hopes to stop him. Richard had noticed the police officers and managed to keep his head low and avoid being spotted as he walked into a nearby convenience store. That is, until a group of women caught a glimpse of him. The group of old Mexican women shrieked in fear.
Yes, sir. Mexican people on top, baby. Hey, we did it for y'all, gangy. We did it for y'all.
And called out frantically that the man before them
Big up the Mexicans.
Boop. El Matón.
Boop, Mexicans. Boop.
Richard looked around in a panic as he realized that dozens of magazines in the store had one face staring down at him. His own.
Ooh, that's fine. I'm telling you, bro. This YouTuber look like
him. His own. Richard fled from the store as fast as he could and even darted across the busy Santa Ana freeway in the middle of traffic
just on that bad boy.
in an attempt to get away. In his mad dash for a hiding place, Richard attempted to carjack a variety of vehicles, but was unsuccessful in each attempt. All of a sudden, bystanders watching Richard run realized they were in the presence of the Night Stalker in broad daylight. Together, a group of residents from the neighborhood managed to tackle him to the ground.
What?
One resident even managed to strike Richard over the head.
They saw his face on Facebook that morning.
With a metal bar, forcing the serial killer to fall to his knees.
Nice! Hey, okay. This is how he got caught. Damn, they all just got on his head? I fuck with that.
One resident even managed the presence of the Night Stalker.
What the hell?
Daylight.
That's dope. They just
Together,
like that?
A group of residents from the neighborhood managed to tackle him to the ground. One resident even managed to strike Richard over the head.
Just one strike though? You know what I mean? Do it like multiple times, bro.
Serial killer to fall to his knees.
Keep doing it.
The group of Good Samaritans relentlessly beat
Richard there you go.
Until police arrived and promptly arrested him for his brutal crime spree. Richard was then finally taken to court for his horrific attacks and murders. He is famously remembered for shouting during the court proceedings and drawing a pentagram on his hand, which he showed to the court.
Ooh, my God. Officially, the citizens did way more than the police force. Hey, officially they did. No, at the end though, at the end he got kind of lazy. So I think the police did their job at the end. That's a fucking sick story, bruh.
As well as another in his blood on the wall of his cell. Interestingly, the state
bro, if I would have seen that, if I was the police officer, right, and he put his hand up like this, showing the pentagram, you know what I would have done, bro? Smack the fucking back of his head, bro. Shut the fuck up, bro. Bro, that shit, if I was the police officer, I'd be like, bro, that shit don't scare nobody, bro. Smack the fuck back of his head, bro. Hard as hell. No one would say nothing. Idiot. Sorry, guys. That would not. Put your
Richard
damn hand down, bro.
Richard was known to have decaying teeth, and by the time he was in jail, 9 of his teeth were rotting, while some were missing altogether from both his upper and lower jaw.
Damn.
His father had provided him with an alibi during his trial, stating that Richard had been in Texas during one of the weeks where there had been 3 attacks, and therefore could not be the killer. Yet a dentist from Los Angeles later testified that he had actually treated Richard for his rotting teeth during that time period, proving that his father had lied. On September 20th, 1989, Richard Ramirez was convicted of 13 counts of murder,
5 years later, by the way. I mean, it is what it is.
11 sexual assaults, and 14 burglaries. On November 7th, 1989, Richard was sentenced to 19 respective death sentences in the state of California via gas inhalation. After his sentencing was revealed, Richard told reporters, "Big deal. Death always went with the territory. See you in Disneyland." That quote alone sent shivers down the news reporters' spines. But
if I was a reporter, bro, homie got an emphasis on God. Homie put an emphasis on God for real. That's what I'm saying, Lou. What does that even mean, bro? You see what I'm saying, bro? He's thinking he's so smart, bro, because they gave him the little name, the Night Stalker. He says that we all die. I'm going to Disneyland. I'm smacking him straight to his face. Shut up! You're gonna pass away. And then smack him again, bro. Shut up, bro.
One of the most chilling
he thinks he's fucking Socrates or something.
Was the overwhelming obsession that countless women had with the man who wreaked havoc throughout Southern California. In fact, multiple women who claimed to be fans of Richard's overwhelming but perhaps one of the most chilling parts of Richard's trial was the overwhelming obsession that countless women had with the man who wreaked havoc throughout Southern California.
Are you kidding? What?
In fact, multiple women who claimed to be fans of Richard would write him letters and even pay him visits in prison. One woman in particular, Doreen Leoy, wrote Richard around 75 letters in total during his incarceration.
Fans, bro? Pen for Arsenal getting checked. Oh, damn it. Bro, the motherfucker had fans? That's crazy.
Doreen described Richard as, quote, "He's kind, he's funny, he's charming. I think he's a really great person. He's my best friend. He's my buddy." Richard asked Doreen to marry him, and despite the fact that he would be in prison for the rest of his life until he was executed, they were married within the walls of San Quentin State Prison in October.
Bro, what? So he got married
of 1996. For years after their official wedding date, Doreen swore to reporters, friends, and family members alike that she would take her life the same day that Richard was to be executed. However, their supposed
Bro, what? I did not expect him to get married while he's in prison. I'm so confused.
Doreen eventually left Richard for one reason or another that was never expressed publicly, though some have speculated Doreen became disturbed at Richard's lack of empathy for his crimes.
So this lady married him knowing that he did all this stuff, but then left because of the lack of empathy he did for his crimes. Huh? How does that... How are you that's... What? So you knew everything he did, everything he done, but then you're like, oh, I don't want to be with him anymore because the lack of empathy. Am I crazy?
This time to a 23-year-old writer, Christine Lee. Because of the state of California's notoriously lengthy appeals process, Richard Ramirez would have been in his early 70s by the time his execution.
My life says football? It does? It does say football? Does my life say that on TikTok? Damn, I need to change it then. Hold on, let me change it then. If it does say that, I'm gonna change it then. Good point. Oh yeah, I'm for sure gonna get banned on TikTok, bruh, for watching this shit. For sure, Gengi. For fucking sure. Damn, bruh. Damn, that's so odd how my life looks like that, bro. Oh, it does say that. Why does it say that? Why does my life say that? That's so odd. And why is my life so... My life looks so funky. My life looks so funky on TikTok. And by the way, guys, I'm definitely gonna get blocked on TikTok. For sure. For sure, Gengi. No ifs, ands, or buts about it, gang. 100,000,000%. 1,000,000%.
Was properly carried out.
My life does say football. I don't want to change that, bro.
The infamous Night Stalker never made it that far. On June 7th, 2013, Richard died of complications secondary to B-cell lymphoma at Marin General Hospital in Green Bay, California.
He was only 53?
At 53 years old. Though Richard can no longer torture the residents of the greater Los Angeles area, his victims and their families feel little closure in the Night Stalker's death. Rather, Richard Ramirez's story serves as a reminder that monsters are real and they are vicious. Richard was a cruel killer, one with no remorse whatsoever. If you take anything away from this one with
Wait, what did he die? I'm trying to see what he died of.
At 53 years at Marin General Hospital in Green Bay, California, at 53 years old. Though Richard can no longer torture the residents of the greater Los Angeles area,
he could have been killed by his life. Yeah, 2030?
Feel little closure in the Night Stalker's death.
B-cell lymphoma. What is that, huh? B lymphoma. This contact not lymphoma kind of. Oh my god, 80%. Oh my god. Oh, it's cancer? Jesus. Jeez Louise, man.
Rather, Richard Ramirez's story serves as a reminder that monsters are real and they are vicious.
Monsters are real,
Richard
guys. Agreed.
Was a cruel killer,
Agreed.
One with no remorse whatsoever.
Karma, I guess.
If you take anything away from this episode, we hope it is this. Lock your doors, stay alert, and remember to always double-check the shadows. You never know what or who could be lurking there, just beyond your field of vision.
Why is he kind of cooking with that, bro? Nah, he's cooking, bro. This concrete, bro, he's cooking, bro. He cold, brother. Cold, by the way.